Pounders, welcome back. Episode 9 of The Big Board. Contest is officially 23% full, seeing a slight slowdown on the contest. 250 to first. We gotta fix the thummy. We only put 150. We gotta jack that price up. Hope everyone's doing well. OTS asking about the streaming schedule. Honestly, with 2 kids right now, still figuring what that looks like out. We're hoping to get a more consistent schedule, but right now we're getting on basically during nap times. Like this is strictly around nap times. So that's been fun. Appreciate you guys showing up. A little 2 p.m. or if you're on the East Coast. Want to sort of start this one by talking about the quarterbacks, right? And it seems like a lot of the QBs are priced up this year for kind of like certainty. Like you're getting certainty out of Baker Mayfield, getting certainty out of Jared Goff. Like this area right here. A lot of these guys started in the hundreds. So these guys got pumped up very quickly. Bo Nix, same thing, got pumped up. Mahomes should fall back. Remember, before the auto drafters were taking KC versus Philly accidentally in the big boards, changing this ADP, Mahomes was going by Bo Nix. So you see a lot of people that are tied to ADP drafting Mahomes at this new ADP when he was just going closer to 80 than he was 60. Purdy is one in this group that I think ADP should be depressed a little bit, maybe a little closer to Stroud, in my opinion. We got a 26 pick difference between Purdy and Stroud here. Let me make this bigger so everyone can see. Caleb at 100. I would prefer him I would get so much more if he was by Stroud. Pick 100. You are sort of making this jump, this year 2 push you're giving him, which I'm okay with. What happens with Keenan Allen? There's a few question marks there, but obviously year 2, you're expecting a bump. We're giving it to him without really maybe fully deserving it, but I get it. And that's what I'm saying. These QBs are pushed up, right? They're much more expensive than last year. Now, Dak goes in a good spot. He's been rising. Drake May goes in a good spot. Justin Herbert is fine. You're probably not going to get the same ceiling with Herbert. T-Law. And then you start to get into this, okay, these guys are going to be benched at some point this year, right? And it seems like last year, the year before, you're like, oh, I could just build these 3 QB teams and go 3 late. And it just seems much harder. There's a lot less certainty. And with the NFL willing to slow down on the development of some of these rookie QBs, depending what teams they land on, can have an impact. We don't know where players like Sam Darnold are going to go. Geno most likely returning back to Seattle, if I had to guess. But then you have the Dart talk. You have the Milrow talk. And that's going to come on as a little more as we get closer to March and April, the NFL draft. Potential landing spots for those guys. Staffy at 178 to me seems maybe the most certain player after, like, when you get to A-Rich, when you really get to like bench risk. Staffy not going to have the ceiling as A-Rich, obviously, but the bench risk seems lower on Stafford than it does a lot of these other players. Carr, we all remember on New Orleans. New Orleans actually was cooking to start the season, and everyone just started getting hurt. Shaheed, Derek Carr, Olave, obviously. The team fell apart with injuries, but they're actually cooking when they were healthy. Max Sauce in the house. What's up, dude? Best Ball Josh. What's up, brother? 50 big boards in. Let's go. So I've been going a lot slower. So it's almost 25% full. And I'm not matching the fill rate right now with my completed drafts. Currently at 21, 30 big boards, little boards, I should say. So definitely staying in tune with ADPs, and that's been helping me with the CSV updates and all that for the Pounders. And if we go to exposure, I'm going to extract all these teams. This is the new update on bestballoverlay.com. You guys are going to get a sneak peek today. So obviously we have the extract button. That's not too new. You've seen that. But now when we jump in, you're going to get a whole new view, boys. A whole new view on life. Josh did a little major update. You're also going to have this combination tool at the bottom here. And this is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun. Rest of the workday sucks less. Hell yeah, man. BBOC. Gino got... Right, and what are they going to do? Right? They've like picked 19 in the draft. So do they end up with like Milrow? Do they try to get one of these day 2 guys? It's Geno Smith was smart though. Like he won enough games. I think he won 10 games. Like he won enough to kind of like secure his role in a way. Smart guy. Smart guy. Green Bean in the house at 3. OTS at 4. Frank. It begins. It begins. My draft partner, my draft neighbor. I want to say Badman sounds familiar. If you guys are in here and I didn't call your name out, don't be a lurker. Let me know where you're at. Don't be a lurker. We're at 11. This is our wheelhouse right here. And I can promise you, Frank, if there's only one receiver left on the board, you're not getting it. You're not getting them. That's the 11 spots job right now. That is the 11 spots job. Still testing with where some of this stuff should go. So here you have the conference matchups. We don't know, obviously, the week 15, 16, 17 matchups, but we do know they're going to play their conference teams twice a year. So that's what you're seeing there. This is probably going to have to go next to the name so it doesn't push it down. Lamb at 4, Barkley at 3, JJ at 2. Bijan off at 5, Gibbs at 6. All right. Yeah, Frank. The draft season has officially began now. Now that we're draft neighbors, we can start. We can start the year off. This is good. This is real good. Spot. You're usually just looking at BTJ. Like that's typically the only receiver on the board. But we'll see. You have neighbors that goes behind him, but a lot of the time I've noticed people are drafting neighbors over BTJ. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. That's why I have their ADPs flipped. I also think that what we saw with T-Law wasn't the best when it comes to Brian Thomas Jr. Ooh, Hill McConk. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Let me hit the refresh. Achane, Henry. I know I have a few of these, but I really don't mind them. Worst case, we'd go Genty, but let's go Achane here. I have to upload my CSV. That's why. I came unprepared. Workday, hopefully is going good for you guys. Hopefully it goes quick. We were battling with the kiddo for nap time. When I left, he was standing, singing the ABCs. Absolute classic. Absolute classic. CMC off at 17. I've been taking him basically after JT. I've mixed in just a little bit of CMC. I'm trying to find a spot where the risk reward starts to become worth it. It's in, like, this area. When you're looking at, like, T. Higgs, Terry, Brees, this is sort of the area that I'm willing to mix in CMC. But I'm curious about you guys. Are you drafting CMC like he's playing? Like he's gonna get hurt? He's not returning to full? It's so early in the draft season right now. We have such little information besides he's feeling good. Like next thing you know, he's gonna be on a plane to Europe to go for some treatment you can't get here, which is never a good sign. But where are you guys taking CMC? I'm curious. Leave a comment down below if you guys watch this afterwards. Garrett Wilson, Josh Jacobs. All right, let me see if I go in here and do this. Chase Brown at 27. I can't do it, man. I can't get there yet with Chase Brown. I can't get there. It just seems like he's someone that could just get the axe. We're going to extract these teams. So this is new. When you go through and extract these, it's just going to go team by team. And this way you can sort of get around the one a day, right? So from Underdog, you can only get one email exposure CSV a day. Here, you can do it after every draft if you want. I would do it after every few, as long as you kind of get an idea of how your percents are looking. That's all I care about. HMBTJ coming back around at 35. Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind a faller like McBride at 35. Worthy off the board. Kyron goes. We're just gonna go Lamar. We're just gonna go Lamar. And let's bring in Zay Flowers here. Let's back-to-back it. Let's get the correlation going. CMC is a fade for now. That's how I'm treating it. 0% CMC. I can catch up later in the draft season. That's another thing with the big board, right? Like 3 out of 12 advance. So if CMC does end up being a wildly big value in the second round, it shouldn't hurt too much. That's one team advancing, right? If like he has this crazy 50, 48% advance rate, it doesn't kill you in the big board. And you could still be correct. You could still be correct. I mean that by like look at Jacobs. He sort of slowed down towards the end of the year. Mixon sort of slowed down towards the end of the year. Some of these older backs, they came out cooking. And I think part of the reason Jacobs slowed down is there was no RB2. Like they were hoping Marshawn Lloyd could kind of ease some of the pain off of him, and it just we all know what happened there. We all know what happened there. You have to take Likely. Oh man, he's tough right now because he really, in my opinion, feels like a handcuffed tight end. He feels like a handcuffed tight end to me, which obviously just doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. Burrow, Mixon. Oh. I'm not going Burrow with Chase every single time. It's going to be obviously a super high-owned combo, but I want it to be around probably like 75%. I wouldn't mind 75% of my shares with Burrow when I have Chase. He goes Waddle, Mixon. I see. Overlay update should be out in very soon. I won't put a date on it, but very soon. Still working on a couple things. Kittle off at 52, Olave 53. But Josh did a great job. Like whole new look. Whole new look. You get the money, so you get to see what percent. We're gonna add what contest. So if you just want to see big boards, I'm hoping that'll be in there on launch. If not, it'll be soon after. Because when you get to mid-season, there's like 15, 20 contests. All right, ADP saying K-Walk. Let's bring in O'Marion share. The more I'm seeing on this guy, the more I like. Maybe not as much for best ball, but doesn't have like the home run speed, but he's still, when it's this early. Let's go Godwin. When it's this early in the draft season for the big board, I don't want to make an overly huge bet on just one of these rookies. I have a ton of Travion, so I'm curious if it's not pulling rookies right now, which is something good to note to tell Josh. This is why we test. This is why you test. Here's another good point here. And this is important too. Look, if San Fran lets Jordan Mason walk and don't draft any running backs, I'll start taking CMC. And that will tell you actually quite a bit about CMC's situation, what they do with some of these free agent running backs. Now, I think they signed Mason because they saw how fast you can lose running backs. Garendo was good. So I could really see this. I could really see it go either way. I'm starting to now take some more Mason, and I'm sort of forcing myself to do it. Let's hit the refresh here. So with Lamar, I have 87.5% Andrews. Javante's just one of my higher owned guys, so I'm not too surprised by this. Same thing with QJ right now, one of my higher owned guys. Now, obviously, Zay Flowers should be higher on this list than he is. I'm not taking a ton of Zay, but correlated, we definitely have to make a conscious note for Lamar to just take him a little more, especially for the percent that I have Lamar. Double the field. And what's the OTS grabbing Demont at 69? What's the hesitancy people are having with Demont? I don't understand the hesitancy. Is it like new OC and we don't think this team's gonna run? Like what's the case for letting Demont fall? What's the case for Demont behind Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson? Two guys that I love. Just that spot's really tough for me. More Gibbs usage? Yeah, I think even with that, though, if you get more Gibbs usage, you had more Gibbs usage last year. This team was very run heavy, though. And when you have a team that is possessing the ball for the amount of time that they did, there's just a lot of touches available. There's a lot of touches available. I guess it also depends on your team build. Never going to do anything every single time. But I'm at 21.7% DMOD, so as you can see, I'm a fan. He's gonna get hurt. Oh shit. Could. Anyone can. Frank. That is true. A lot of mouths to feed. Now, here's the thing. Like with the new OC, do you end up seeing more consistency from Sam Laporta? Do you end up seeing more consistency from Amon-Ra? Can JMO have as big of a year with the different OC? There's definitely a few questions here that need to be answered. Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels, we'd love to see that. Make our Lamar pick a little stronger in this room. I know, but the ground and pound is so good. The ground and pound he provides is so good. He goes Ricky Pearsall. 82. I'm just bringing in Big Mark here. We're not going to mess around. We'll let Frank do his thing. Here. Right now it has my little board and big board exposures up. Franco Shakir and Kyler. I think we're going to bring in Josh Downs in this spot. I think Josh Downs is going to be the play. Maybe we end up with A-Rich as QB2. Kind of a fun pairing with Lamar. Question for you guys. Would you go 3 QBs with Lamar and A-Rich? Are you comfortable with just 2? And that might be a harder question in 2 out of 12 advanced than it is 3 out of 12. Josh, sick overlay, dude. No, it's really nice. Visually, it's awesome. Get a little overlap here because I have to zoom in for the stream. But it sort of self-corrects itself. But it's fine if you stream or if you're viewing this at a normal rate. But I don't know if we should do the teams next to the names. We'll have to play around with that just a little bit. Still, Cade's going too. I think you just lean in. You lean in like you're right. Again, 3 out of 10 advance. Lamar's a similar season, or maybe even a downtick of 10%, 15%. Like you're still looking pretty good. He won't be the reason that your team doesn't advance in a 3 out of 12. There will be another. I'm surely there will be another reason. And for A-Rich, I don't even think it's as much the bench risk as it is the injury risk. And maybe the tired risk. Do you bake in tired risk? Comes off the field on a important drive because the dude's tired. Tough look. We're up in 11 picks. Cup off the board at 95. Pacheco made it all the way to 93. His ADP has been sliding back to where it was. There goes Warren. It is refreshing to see Jonnu and Njoku start to fall just a little bit. I have to bump up Warren on the next CSV, though. He's one of the guys I've written down. There's like 3 players I've written down. I've updated the CSV almost every other day. And you have to early because there's so many moving parts. And they're moving quickly. They're moving quickly. Yeah, so with my Zay Flower share, I want to say this is maybe 1 or 2 teams. 100% Lamar. Very strongly tied to Gibbs, which is interesting. We get a little different here with this team. And again, 1, 2 teams, kind of who cares? But as you get into, and I've only done 20, as you get into 30, 40, 50, I'm going to want different combos. Interesting spot coming up here. Interesting spot coming up here. I'm curious what Frank's going to do behind me. He's got a 1-2-5-0, so he's sitting pretty. Bad man. Do your thing, bad man. Do your thing. He goes Bateman. And I think we're just bringing in ETN here. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Underdog. Don't do it. Network error. Oh, screenshot. Oh, thank God it goes to B-Rob. And this is why you set CSV ranks. This is why you set CSV ranks. Dan Campbell isn't calling the plays or drawing up schemes. Yo, UD. Load up, dude. Load up. Uh-oh. Lose internet? Can you let me know if you guys can still hear me. I'll work to get this up again. No internet. Bruh. Does YouTube work? Oh, shit. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. All right. Still good. Interesting. YouTube says connect to the internet. Like, why? Like, why? Oh, thank God I didn't auto. Thank God I didn't auto Kelsey. That would have been tough. That would have been tough. And that's why you set CSV rankings right there. There's the major reason. Underdog banned you. No, dude, YouTube won't load too. It says connect to internet. It says connect to the internet. So I ended up going B-Rob and Najee, double tapping RB there, which isn't a bad spot to get both of those guys. Remember, we drafted the rookie Omarion. We have Achan. And that's just such a juicy spot to grab running backs. Frank grabbed ETN on the turn with Love, and he had Reed, so nice little connection there. Let's see. All right, we're all the way back. A little reset of the internet, and we're back. My goodness. Bush League. Definitely need a reset, though. Now it's... Goddamn. I'll trade you ETN. I'm curious. Because you went ETN over Najee. I like all three of these plays right now. Obviously, 24% B-Rob, 20% Najee, and these guys have been rising. But ETN's kind of a tough one. ETN's sort of a tough one. We need to catch up at... Jesus. We need a strong recovery at receiver here. We need a strong recovery at receiver. I'm going Kraft right now over Ingram. It's tough. That's a tough one. What do you guys think happens with Ingram? Does he go back to Jacksonville? It's, in my opinion, T-Law loves him. T-Law loves him. His over-under for catches is like always set to 4.5, which is a beautiful spot for tight ends. Major trade candidate. Yeah, there's a lot of tight end needy teams. My worry is utilization of Ingram. Of course, I mean we're getting a coaching flip in Jacksonville anyways. Here we go. Get some of these tight ends and QBs off the board, bad man. It's also such a good spot to go Tajay. Such a good spot to go Tajay. We're just not in the position to go another running back here. I would much rather draft Tajay here than have to draft a receiver. As you can see, the ranks don't lie. The ranks would never lie. I'm good with two of these three. Frank, do your worst, man. I'm getting two of these guys. Let's go QJ. I don't mind Hollywood, but I can't have Hollywood ahead of ADP of QJ. No way he double taps, right? If he double taps, we probably go Spears. I'm nice. Correlated love with Kraft. Gets a nice little full round discount on Kraft too. Now, was it a fake out? Do we actually just go Spears here? And then we could be done at RB. Let's bury ourselves. This is minimum 9 receiver team now. We could stop here 5. This could be a 10 wide receiver team. This is gonna be an interesting one. We're also not getting A-rich when we do that. Could have gone for T-Law there, but could have. Let's grab the RB. Let's be in what we think right now is very strong at RB. Obviously, if Tennessee lets go of Pollard, like we expect, they gotta bring someone in. Tajae's like a 40% roll back, in my opinion. 5'10", 194. He's not the 80% workload type guy. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he, and again, at pick 134, if he gets 50%, you're in good shape. You're in good shape for the type of player he is. Oh my God, it was so bad. I can't. It was so bad. I thought it was AI. The first time I saw it, I thought it was AI. Like I just scrolled. I'm like, oh man, they did him dirty. And then I find out it was him. He did himself dirty. Like, oops. Colson off the board, Rashad White, Pitts, Sampson, Kincaid, Bryce Young goes at 144. This guy loves his rookies. Supposed to bring in a rookie there, not a year two guy. Nice little back stack here, Bryce Young and Coker. Yeah, I like that, Tay. A lot of back stacks with Fields. Fields in the fry. It's an easy one. And bring in a little Calvin Austin last round. Ferg 146. What are we doing? There goes Fields at 148. Might have done us a favor. Let's sit on it. Do we have anyone? Not really. I was thinking, do we have anyone that has potential for free agent QB? Assuming Najee stays in Pittsburgh. Do we go both Baltimore tight ends here? I'm not a huge fan of overstacking Baltimore, right? Like we already have two pass catchers in a single game or man. I wish we went receiver. If one guy's still on the board that I'm looking at, if he's still there, I'm probably going to wish I went receiver. I have a ton of Pat Fry. We're at like 21%. We're gonna go Sed here for one and see what Frank does. Frank's got a nice little balance build, 2, 3, 6, 1. You got to think he's bringing in at least one running back here. Ollie Gordon is the guy I was thinking of. That we wouldn't have minded seeing Ollie Gordon here if we went receiver before. I'm surprised he didn't go Dobbs with one of those, but let's take a shot on the rookie here. We're probably going to go 3. We'll probably go 3 QBs. We can stop at 5 RBs. We'll probably go 3 tight ends. And that'll give us, 9 receivers? Should be fine. We'll We'll see what comes back to us at receiver, though. We got a long ways to wait to see if anyone we like is going to be on the board at 179. Definitely putting ourselves in a weird situation, but I don't mind going of my next 2 tight ends. I don't mind them being round 19 and 20. It's not like we have to overspend a tight end. It's gonna be interesting. We gotta try to tie this one in a bow. Watching Sanders tape makes me sad. Do you think he goes at 1 or 2? Does he go at pick 1 or 2? Or do we get a surprise? Do we get a NFL draft day surprise? A-Rich went where? Where did A-Rich went at 138? If we go A-Rich here, we could probably like we didn't need Tajay here. This was a force. This is just because I like the player at his current ADP. But we probably should have gone A-Rich or T-Law there. The flexibility of stopping at 2 QBs, I guess it's pretty similar, though. Like, if we go Tajay here, we get the flexibility of stopping at 5 RBs. So, is it because how he finished? Alec Pierce, 169. Who do you guys like more? Straight up, if you had to pick just one, Alec Pierce or AD going into year 2, who would you draft? Let me pull up the snaps towards the end of the season too, because now I'm curious what that looked like in Indy. Not a team that I'm overly looking at snap counts. It's probably one of the least teams that I have eyes on. But at the end of the year, and again, AD was being mixed in. When Downs was playing, Pierce and Pittman were healthy. They were on the field for the 3 wide receiver sets. AD was being mixed in. Something interesting. Again, rookie though. When Downs was out, like you had an increased snap share for AD for sure. 58% when Downs is out. 89% when Pierce was out, so put him in the Pierce role. Oh, okay. D-Hop, absolutely not. This is probably a decent. Okay. All right, Frank, do your worst, my friend. Do your worst. Pierce for best ball. Frank, never change, dude. Never change. Goes Garendo. One of his highest owned players in the big board last year, I want to say. Maybe the highest. But my God, only took 3 player injuries to get him on the field. And he performed well. He performed well. All right. We're at a 2.581, trying to recover from a little avalanche that we put ourselves under for no reason at all. Lamar Jackson and Shador Sanders, Achan, Marion Hampton, B-Rob, Najee, Tajay Spears, BTJ, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Josh Downs, Quentin Johnson, Cedric Tillman, Adam Thielen, Jalen Royals, and Mark Andrews right now at tight end. Giddens off at 191. Been clicking a lot of Giddens lately. Been trying to up my shares of Ollie. Tank went 111, which is interesting. Pretty sure I have Swift over Tank, right? Yeah, 130 for Tank, and Swift is at 118. A little behind on Swift, 10 picks. Pickaroos. He wasn't in the player pool, so it must have been BBM then, the start of BBM. Frank, if you're still here, let us know what percent you had of Garendo. Because it was thick. I remember it being maybe in the threes. Was it 30? It was high. Woody Marks off, D-Hop off. Javonte goes at 184. The Dart goes at 200. There's one guy I'm hoping comes back to us. Martinez, nice prospect. We got to take Arby's off the board. We just can't even afford to look at them. We can't even afford to look at them. We're going to bring in the Chig. Just for the chance. Just for the small chance. Little Sanders to Tennessee potential. Make it fun. I don't mind QB last round. My God, these wide receivers are looking bad here. I might bring in Troy Franklin. 6.5%. We're going to chill. We're going to chill on Elijah Moore for a sec. For now. If someone picks me off, I'm great. We're at 43%. I have him in most of my little boards. Because a lot of my little boards, I'm auto drafting off ranks. And I'm just going in to make sure that maybe I'm grabbing correlation, or I didn't end up with 3 tight ends that are early, which I'm not, because my ADPs on tight ends are slightly depressed. So it actually really helps for auto drafting with ranks. Adam in the house. What's up, baby? What's going on, dude? Is Helm off the board? No, I don't think Helm's off the board. Right now, rookie exposures aren't showing up. So after this call, I'm going to give Josh a little ring and see what that's about. But my Helm exposure is probably nearing 40%. So I also want to chill on him. And there's 2 other guys I like that are rookie tight ends that I want to mix in a little more. But yeah, I'm big on Helm. Frank always drafts really, really good teams. Yeah, here's 27% for Frank. I knew it was nearing the 30% mark. 27%. Yeah, Frank's always drafting nice teams. Little A-Rod here. Well, A-Rod. A-Rod's probably my least favorite of the vets. I did have to click him once. I sometimes draft teams. Those are the vibes, bro. Those are the vibes. Kyler and Jordan Love for Frank. James Cook, K-Walk, Etienne, Ollie Gordon, Isaac Garendo. Real nice. Hill, McConkey, Marv, Reed, Shakir, Hollywood Brown, Higgins, and Michael Wilson for the correlation. Kraft, Fryermuth, and Jaceki. Jaceki, I feel like it's underrated. For where he goes, pick 200, like what you're getting if Higgins moves on. Yeah, Rodgers is tough for me. Like, where are you hoping Rodgers goes, right? Like, where are you hoping he goes? Here's a funny one. Here's to Vegas, and then he brings Devontae Adams back to Vegas. Oh God. Oh, we need more memes. That would create memes. That'd be good for the memes. You're just hoping he goes somewhere that's not like the desert. Burrow wants Gesicki back, yeah, and I think you're gonna see it, especially you have Eric All that's in danger of missing the whole season. Okay, there goes one of them. I think there's, yeah. There goes one of them. Mason Taylor with a good Senior Bowl. Draft stock going up. There goes Kareem Hunt. Frank has 3 tight ends, so we're going to push. We're going to push it. Three drafts today, Bugs. Oh my. Oh my. I wish. I wish. I'm just going Elijah Moore again, dude. 19. That means we'd only go 2 QBs. Let's let Underdog Jesus take the wheel here. Let's let Underdog Jesus take the wheel. All right, it accepted the rookie QB. We're going to stick to the original plan. Stopping at 3 receivers. Mark Andrews and Chig. Let's bring in Arroyo, another guy who had a good Senior Bowl. Thoughts on Nick Chubb? I was clicking him early, but I've since slowed down. And maybe I got like the Jerome Ford bug for a little bit, and then I've slowed down on Nick Chubb. You're basically hoping for him to be like Gus Edwards at this point, where he can sneak into the end zone twice if his team gets to the goal line. Like, that ceiling game is like 2 touchdowns, 70 yards on 18 touches. Jerome could burn me. Got 0%. Not really that worried, though. Which Jerome? Unfortunately, Chubb is dead. Yeah, and I don't know. I think it might be a little unfair to judge him based on what you saw last year. Like, at his age, returning back to game speed, he looked slow. Jerome Ford, yeah. He looked slow. Obviously, now with the whole offseason to train instead of, trying to rehab. I probably won't be too far under 8%. But when all things are said and done, I won't be too far under 8%. Chubb to the Chargers. I don't know. They need stability for the playoffs, not people that are like trending downwards towards the end of the year, like some of these older players or hurt players. Yeah, the Dalvin Cook treatment. Dalvin Cook could catch passes, though. Yes, dude, expect this. Expect this 600-pound squat video. That's That's beautiful. Good job, Adam. That is. Don't forget. Never forget. All right, let me mark this before I forget. What do we got? We got Feb 213. Oh my, man. Oh my. Epi 9. All right. Yeah, with the rookie QB, I don't mind bringing in a third in a 20-round draft. If this is 18 rounds, we're stopping at 2. Achan, Hampton, B-Rob, Najee, Tajay Spears. We messed around and found out this should have been A-Rich or T-Law here. We would have had more correlation. Maybe we would have looked a little prettier. But man, Tajay at 134 does seem really good to me. BTJ, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Downs, Quentin Johnson, Cedric Tillman, Adam Thielen, Jalen Royals, and Troy Franklin on year 2 with Andrews, Chig, and Arroyo. I mean, this team's definitely built in a way to advance. We have correlation too for playoffs with Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers, which is fun. Maybe get some ping pong action. Let's see what Green Bean did in the 3 spot though. He did 2-7-8-3 with Bo Nix and Drake May. Like the combo, grabbing those QBs early. And again, these QBs are coming off the board early. They're already priced up. That's what makes me scoop these 3rd round QBs. I can't see a situation where it's like it's a bad pick to grab Lamar or Josh Allen this year at their ADP. The only argument I think would be is like Jalen Hurts is such a good value where he goes that you skip out on those first 2, but they're falling where everyone else is rising, which in my opinion just makes them a better pick. But this is a fun combo. Would you guys want a third on this, or based on the price, you have to lean into 2? 20-round draft, you probably have room to bring in a third if you want. But Barkley, Brown, Stevenson, Cam Scatbro. I'm starting to like his tape more and more. This will be very landing spot dependent, though. He'll be very landing spot dependent. You want to see an OC that utilizes the running backs in the pass game. Dylan Sampson, Brashard Smith, and Justice Hill, I think, is a good pick too. I'm like pick blind to Justice Hill right now, but I do want to get some more shares. It would have been nice on the Lamar team, but Terry McLaurin, Tet, Sutton, Jalen McMillan, Keon Coleman, Yoshi Vas, Douglas Slayton. Slayton's a nice last, and he reached up for him a little bit. Was this round 19? Round 18? Round 18 on Slayton. In a sharper room, I don't mind that at all. Slayton free agent, plenty of good landing spots, plenty of bad landing spots too, but K-Dot and Henry and Fannin. Fannon's going to get a bump. He's not going to be at 190 forever. I like these 3 tight ends, though. Correlated Henry. I love K-Dot is one of the best value tight ends right now, along with Ferguson. Nice little double stack there in New England. Triple stack if you count Stevenson. OTS, let's see. On your worst behavior, 3-7-7-3. Dak Prescott, Michael Penix, and Fields, the stream snipe. Demont Pacheco, Ray Davis, Corum, RJ Harvey, Marshawn Lloyd, and Estime. Let's continue. CeeDee Lamb, London, JSN, O'Dunes, Amika. Man, Kittle, Smith. Probably stopping here with these 2. Obviously leaning into some of the rookies here, leaning into a nice year 2 bump for Rome. Starts wide receiver, gets London at 21. Adam goes, yeesh, that RB room is tough. I don't mind the RB room looking a little more on the disgusting side. That is the That is the position that can change so quickly at any point during the year. Like Kyron goes down, you're getting like RB2 numbers from Corum now. Him at 172 is also really nice. But yeah, I get it. Hate the 3 tight ends, but it's the Atlanta correlation that kind of tricked him into grabbing. I get it. I probably would have rathered one more piece at, like, I'm good with, if you want to lean into these guys hitting some good landing spots, you get a good landing spot for Mika, who I like. Tez Johnson goes to Buffalo or something, plays like the Cole Beasley role. You hit on 2 of these guys, 2 out of 3. Obviously, you have a high likelihood of a Mika. Yeah, and you're fine at receiver. RB's fun. RB's fun. 3 QBs, I think you need the 3 QBs there. I think this spot, you spend it somewhere else, but the pounder drafts are harder. They're harder. We went over ours, 3592. That's not 3593, not our typical. 2783. Kyler and Jordan Love's a nice pairing. Still have that rushing upside with Kyler. James Cook, K-Walk, ETN, Ollie Gordon, Garendo, Gibson, Jacory. Dude, I've seen Frank pulling Jacory a few times now. Tyreek and McConkey, nice little unique combo there. Marvin Harrison, Reed, Shakir, Hollywood Brown, Jane Higgins, and Michael Wilson. A lot of correlation here. Kraft, Frymuth, and Jaceki. Really nice. Nice, strong team from Frank. I don't think anyone else was sneaking in the shadows. No one has released their identity of where they were drafting from. So I'm just going to assume no one was hiding in the shadows in this one, which is surprising. Now, when I look back at my team, I like it a little more. I think it's pretty damn balanced. This is balanced. RB is obviously pretty strong. Receiver, it's like receiver, you need Godwin to stay healthy. That's probably. But yeah, 3 tight ends. The pounder drafts, even if a couple pounders sneak in, they can suck up the value in the room. They can really suck up the value in the room. Just little boards. I don't blame you, dude. But what's cool, new update, dude, you just go in here, you can extract every team again. And then you get the freshest ADPs, just like that. Boom, you get to see the newest percents. Bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders, all caps. We'll bring it down 25%. And I'm so excited for the updates that are coming. It's just, they're crazy. Been grinding. He's also been helping the family move out of the California wildfires. So he's he's been grinding, man. He's been grinding. So appreciate you guys showing up. A little 2 p.m.er. Might have to do some more of these with returning back to work and bedtimes with kids at night and the whole 9. So I'll try to hopefully get a more set schedule for you guys, but we're still adapting to 2 kiddos. So I appreciate you guys. All the love, all the grace. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Pounders.